Hey guys, Gina here. Today I'm bringing you a video all about my very first pet reptile. This is Xena. She is my ball python. I was told that her morph was Mojave Lesser Pastel. Don't hold me to that. I have no idea about morphs, not even a little bit. I just know that she's technically not a normal. That's all I heard. So, her story is quite an interesting one. I did something that no one should do. That is, get an animal without the proper materials to care for it. Just being honest, if you ever plan on getting an animal, whether it be a reptile, a dog, a cat, whatever it is, make sure you have... Rocco wants to be in the video too. Make sure you have everything you need prior, because it's going to help you out in the long run to not be so ill-prepared like I was. So basically what happened was I was working one day. It's a little over a year now, and I was having a really rough day. I started watching some YouTube videos about reptiles, since that's what I've been doing for the past like 4 or 5 months prior to that day. And I have no idea what possessed me, but I decided to go on Craigslist for the first time and look at pets. So anyway, I'm on Craigslist, having a bad day, and I came across this ad. Sorry about Rocco. Came across this ad, and it was for this beauty right here. I have no idea what it was about her, but I saw it and I was like, wow, she's stunning. I want her. Again, I did not have anything for a reptile. The apartment that I was living at did not allow any pets except for dogs and cats. I messaged my boyfriend and I'm like, I need this beautiful girl. I need her. I said that prior to even talking to the person who had her. Not a good start. Then I decided to ask the guy the questions that I should have prior to me deciding to get her. You know, how's her temperament? You know, do you have any other photos of her? Because Craigslist is a hit or miss when it comes to a lot of different things, and you've got to be very careful. If anyone is curious as to what to look for on Craigslist when it comes to, you know, getting a pet off of there, put a comment below and I can make that video for you. We can kind of go step by step and I can give you some tips and tricks. So of course I decided that after work that day, it was a Wednesday, I'm going to trek 2 hours north and drag my boyfriend along with me just to pick up this little girl. I keep like holding her up because she keeps going everywhere. She's very curious. She never balls up. She's always on the move. The girl is just, you know, granted she's only on the move at night really. I woke her up during her bedtime, so it's probably another reason why she's just like, let me go back to sleep, please. So I'm thinking, you know, after I talk to him, I'm like, oh crap, I don't have anything for her. I have nothing. I have nothing for her. I have the space for her, but I don't have feeding tongs. I don't have food. I don't have an enclosure. I don't have anything. What am I going to do? I spoke to the guy honestly, and I told him, I was like, you know, this was kind of a spur of the moment thing, which is typically not like me when it comes to, okay, that's a flat out lie. It is like me, but I usually am a little more prepared than what I was. But I told him, I was like, I don't have anything for her, you know, but I'll take her, you know, I'll figure it out, which I always do. Fortunately for me, he was such a nice guy. He decided to give me everything that he had for reptiles, everything for her. So that included the enclosure, some feeding tongs, some mice, rats, because she was eating small rats at the time. And yeah, he just was like, I'll give you some extra substrate, like whatever you need, I'll give you. So he did. He gave me everything he had. We meet the guy outside. He has her in a pillowcase, and you know, he opens it up and he shows me her, you know, and he lets me hold her, and to my surprise, she was exactly the way that he had described her. She was super sweet. She was very curious, wasn't scared even in the slightest bit. She did not ball up. She did not strike. It was nothing. It was like we connected. Like we just knew that we were to be together. As cheesy as that sounds, it's absolutely true. She is the sweetest girl. She is not head shy at all. So I can give her little head rubs and little face rubs and everything, and she doesn't mind. She never ever sits still unless she's asleep during the day, but at night she's all over her tank. Whenever I take her out like I did today, she's all over the place. She's just a curious little girl. She's about, how old is she now? She's about 2.5 years old now, maybe close to 3. That's what he told me when I went to pick her up. I don't know how accurate that is, but you know. So I get her home and I get her in her enclosure, and I realize the enclosure is way too small. It was a 20-gallon. And she couldn't even stretch all the way out. And I felt so bad. I was like, wow, this is just way, way too small for her. And the hides that he had in there were bowls that had holes cut in them, which, you know, that's a great thing to do. But those 2 hides took up the entire enclosure, so she couldn't even really touch the ground. I have a few pictures which I will insert up here for you to see. And it just was like, it was very sad. It was very sad. I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna be. This can't be this way. So that night, I got online. I went to jubiantroaches.com and I got her a 4x2x2 enclosure. So I waited a few days and I decided I was going to feed her. I was like, okay, I've never fed a snake before. This is going to be a fun time, right? So I get the small rat and I thaw it out. I do the thing that you're supposed to do, warm it up, make sure, you know, that her little heat pits here are going to be able to sense that her food's there. And I was told she was a great eater. So I go to her enclosure with this rat and I'm dangling it by the tail and I'm like, okay, you're going to get this and it's going to be fine. I looked into some research on the mistakes that people make when it comes to feeding their snakes and how they get bit. And I did not. Your girl did not want to get bit. No. I mean, look at her. Like, you don't want to get bit. So, I'm sorry. Ronco's going crazy in his enclosure right now. This is what he does. So anyway, I go to feed her. Well, my dumbass drops the rat. I drop the rat in the enclosure. And she's in strike mode. Boy, she is just ready. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, how am I going to get her to eat this rat when I can't dangle it there? So my dumbass decides to go into the enclosure with my tongs and try to get it. And let me tell you, I missed. And I saw her body language. Now, because I did the research that I was supposed to do, I saw her body language and I was like, she's gonna strike. Your girl's hungry, she wants to eat. And she did. She struck. And I got my hand out of there just in time. And she struck the top part of her enclosure. I was like, okay. That was a 20 on. That was the one that she was not supposed to be in. And yeah, boy, she went out and she almost got me. And I was like, wow, I made the mistake I told myself I was never going to do. So then, being a first-time snake mom, she finds the rat, she starts to eat it. She eats it butt first. I've never seen a snake do that. And now that, you know, being in the hobby for a while, now I'm like, okay, I know that they do that. Sometimes it's not ideal, but it happens. And she did. She ate it butt first. And the back legs got caught. And I was like panicking. I was like, oh my God, she's not going to get this down. She's going to die. Like, what am I going to do? I just had her for like a few days. Her regular enclosure is not coming in yet. You know, her regular enclosure hasn't come in yet. I was freaking out. Because my boyfriend's a lot calmer than I am, he decided to try to calm me down. And I did. I calmed down and she got it down just fine. And she's been a great eater ever since. There's only been maybe like 1 or 2 times that she decided she was just not having it. You know, she was a little hunger strike maybe, but not really, because it wasn't really a hunger strike. It was like, you know, I'm not going to eat this feed, but next feed I'm going to tear into this rat. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be completely honest. I love all my reptiles. I do. I love all of them. I think they're all amazing. And don't tell Rocco this, but out of all the reptiles I have, she's my ride or die, man. She is my number one, and I love all of my babies. I love them so much. You will definitely know and find that out as you kind of watch, you know, the channel and everything, but there's a special place in my heart for her. She was my first one. She was the one that really got me into the hobby. I have always loved snakes, lizards, reptiles, amphibians, frogs, all of them. I've always loved all of them, but I never really knew that you could get into a hobby of some sort, you know, caring for these things. If you want like a little ball python care video, I can definitely make that. There are so many amazing ones out there, but just in case, let me know in the comments as well. That's my sweet girl. This is her. I'm gonna see if I can get a little bit more close-ups of her. Here's her face. Look at that sweet face. How could you not love that sweet face? It is just perfect. Just perfect. She's so curious. Like, she just does not want to sit still. Look at her. Look at her face. Oh my goodness. You want to go say hi to the camera? You want to say hi to the camera? Say hi. Oh. She's giving you guys kisses. My babe. I want to thank you for watching. It means so much to me and my babies as well. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new, please give a follow. I really appreciate it. It means a whole lot to me. I'm not doing this for any other reason except for I just like sharing my pets and sharing my experiences and everything. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.